Hello fellow adventurers! Have you ever wondered what it would be like to survive on an alien planet? Well, this one is entirely made up of oceans. This is Subnautica, with beautiful biomes to explore, plentiful aquatic creatures from cute to whatever that is, and strange mysteries waiting to be unraveled. I'm diving into this watery wonderland for the very first time, and I'm taking you along for an epic 100-day journey. So buckle up, get some snackies ready, because we're about to navigate uncharted waters, dodge quirky creatures, and maybe even make some fishy friends. This is my 100 days of Subnautica. The majestic cruise ship I was on, the Aurora, was sent by Altera to construct a phase gate, but decided to have a little disaster. Let's just say it didn't end well for the ship. I caught a glimpse of the ship exploding through the porthole before a friendly loose panel decided to give me a high five right in the face. It knocked me out cold. When I regained consciousness, the pod was on fire. Standard protocol is to have a fire extinguisher ready, which I guess saved the pod and my life. I crashed onto this planet 4546b. Thankfully for this solo survival, we've got some top-notch AI guidance at our service.
This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Good luck.
Thanks for the advice, but this stuff is busted. Can you help with this, please? I took a peek outside. With no land in sight for miles, it was just me and the cruiser, which was just slowly sinking. There's only one place left to go, and that's in the water. Lucky for me, I found myself near the shallows, and the first thing I saw was acid mushrooms. Did the game want me to start tripping balls this early on? Oh, and I didn't realize I had lightning speed reflexes. I kinda held some fish hostage, tightly wrapped in my fist. I was determined to escape this random planet, and those fish were my ticket to freedom. Fish of all shapes and sizes were having an amazing time swimming around doing their thing. I channeled my inner geologist and started smashing together, as you do in a survival game, rocks in particular, revealing metals like copper and titanium. And there was this plant which gave out oxygen, which reminded me of Sonic. My trusty PDA started spamming me with notifications about the area.
Alien life forms may have unexpected applications. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival strategy.
Would you like to know more?
Lucky for me, I had a working fabricator in my pod. I recycle bits of wreckage into precious titanium. Recycling scraps and whipping up batteries using acid mushrooms and copper became my new favorite pastime. Then, my stomach had its say in all this. My food levels were depreciating rapidly, so into the cooking business I dove, grilling up fish like Gordon Ramsay on an underwater barbecue. I decided it was time for some upgrades. With enough titanium, I fashioned myself an oxygen tank, giving me a luxurious 75 seconds of underwater exploration, and also a handheld scanner.
The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
It's like Google Lens, but in a sleek gun-like form. Now I can scan my way to becoming the smartest fish in the sea. As I continued my aquatic exploration, the first creature I encountered resembled a bovine on a special diet. A gasopod to be precise. These guys were crazy. It's like their poop exploded into poisonous gas clouds. As I explored the nearby area, there were a lot of wreckages nearby. It seemed like I was able to use the scanner to create blueprints so that I can create these wrecked items for myself. There was also a grab trap, but I didn't know what that was. Being submerged had its charms, but the sea holds no secrets when it comes to sound. Suddenly, a deep hum resonated, sending shockwaves throughout my eardrums. Oh my God, what the hell is that? The thing was huge, and it moved really slow. Panic turned to relief when I realized it was just a laid-back reefback passing by. These gentle giants didn't mind me at all. They had a strange ecosystem growing on their backs, and I popped their barnacles like pimples to reveal precious metals like silver.
Kits are an essential component of many habitat modules.
Late in the day, the sun started to bid its adieu, and visibility took a nosedive along with it. Amid the dimming light, I spotted a giant cluster of creep vines, so I headed towards it. I still swam pretty slow, so I held a spadefish to help me, maybe help with some speed? I don't know, maybe I was just imagining it. Go fishy, go! The oily seeds caught my eye. As darkness crept in, I decided to call it a night and head back to my trusty pod, ready to spend my first wet and wonderful night on this planet. But before I hit the sack, my 100% ADHD was kicking in and I had to scan all of the creatures nearby.
Yes, input. Need input.
With the creep vines in mind, I put my crafting skills to work. Silicone rubber and lubricant were in order. And before I knew it, I had a pair of fins strapped on, ready to be the Michael Phelps of Subnautica. And the final item I crafted on day 1 was the survival knife. Because in any survival game, you need a pointy object to keep you alive and safe from predators. In this case, I just needed to stock up on grilled fish, get that alien protein. With the dawn of a new underwater day, I had a mission. Gather materials and forge a repair tool. In a nearby cave, I picked up a lot of quartz crystals and some copper. And also, I almost died to a kamikaze fish. Maybe he was just taking a nap and I disturbed him. I don't know. The guy went straight for my face and exploded. But in its house, I found some sulfur, which would immediately come in handy. Communication was key in this aquatic adventure, and just like a futuristic blacksmith, I crafted a repair tool with a sense of pride. The life pod was my haven in this watery wilderness, and it needed a little TLC. After I fixed the pod, it was the radio's turn, and let me tell you, the eerie silence of the underwater world was soon interrupted by the hiss and crackle of communication. A signal distress call burst through the airwaves.
Will be dispatched to location 9 hours.
Did it say 9999 hours? Isn't that like 4,166.625 days? Uh-oh. Survival is the name of the game, and I'm not about to get distracted by every distress signal. Stress signal or distress signal? I don't know. Let's stay focused. There's oxygen to breathe, fish to catch, and probably a whole lot of underwater real estate to explore. I had to see if there were any survivors in the wreckage, so alongside my tank and swimming fins, I swam closer to the cruiser. However, a closer look revealed more than meets the eye. The surrounding wreckage had fragments to craft a sea glide, a high-speed contraption that would let me zip around in this aquatic jungle before any surprises attacked from certain explosive fish. Thankfully, I had some med packs from the escape pod. As I ventured towards the cruiser, I was hit with a reality check. Radiation. The Aurora was practically belching out the stuff, and I had no intention of becoming a glow-in-the-dark underwater mutant. Survival instincts kicked in, and as soon as I learned how to craft an office chair, I made like a startled dolphin and swam away from the radioactive hotspot. Later, I set my sights on crafting some nifty gadgets. Some flares, air bladder, don't need that, I'm pretty close to the surface. Ooh, habitat. How do I make a computer chip? But now I needed a high-capacity O2 tank. I melted the quartz crystals I found earlier into glass. And finally, this bad boy allowed me to breathe on the water for a whopping 135 seconds. Armed with this extended breath, I was ready to dive deeper and hunt those elusive resources. I tracked down the second part of the Sea Glide, a real game changer in the mobility department. And just when I thought I was getting the hang of things, those gassy sea cows struck me back with their own style of defense, gas pods, and I actually found you can pick them up. Ugh. I got the royal treatment from these bovine beauties. A strategic retreat was in order, and I hightailed it back to my pod. Once I felt safe and somewhat less odorized, it was time to give the Sea Glide a spin.
Exploration range. For your safety, please pack supplies for long journeys and stay within 5 kilometers of the nearest life pod or habitat.
Finally, I had a faster way to travel. It had a map to guide me through the depths and a built-in flashlight. Survival luxury. Another distress call crackled through the radio. LifePod 3 was sending out an SOS. Survivors out there? I must save them.
Uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency Sea Glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously.
Don't worry, I won't. And I made it my mission to meet them. They were close, nestled within the eerie embrace of the Creepvine district. I embarked on this rescue mission, but Mother Nature had a surprise for me. Enter the Stalker, a shark-like creature. I think I annoyed him by shoving a scanner in his face. Note to self, fish are for scanning, not antagonizing. But other than that, he wasn't too aggressive. I approached the pod only to find it busted wide open. Whoever might have been here before was probably the main course in the Stalker's buffet. Great. At least I had some company of the fish. So as we progressed, I learned more about the planet.
Life on this planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes.
What the heck was that? Mesmer? It seemed unfriendly. In this darker embrace, I found a couple of other fish which weren't in the shallows. Very intriguing. And also different types of plants. It was getting dark, and I found a whole part of the ship which must have broke off from the Aurora. The hell is this? Narrow shafts acted as my watery corridors, leading me to the most unexpected discovery, the art of crafting benches and swivel chairs. You can't have a good survival game without a bit of base building and decoration, right? There was also a sealed door, but I needed something to cut it open with. What was that noise? It was getting pretty late. I didn't want any unexpected encounters in the dark, so I headed back under the giant red moon.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by this Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to eat through the hull. Come get us already.
Oh my god, Ozzy was in trouble. My homeboy from the cruiser. A few moments later,
Oh my god, I want to die. Oh, shoot.
with heroic determination, I converted a fish into a makeshift water bottle. Because, you know, that makes sense.
Is this even legal? Don't tell Peter.
That was the most freshest water I ever tasted, I ain't gonna lie. And that medpack crafting machine came in real clutch. Day 3 dawned with a thirst for adventure, or rather a thirst that led me to discover a practical survival solution. Salt and coral got me the ingredients for bleach. No, not for my wet and stinky laundry,
Bleach is an essential chemical
but for
used
purifying
cleaning
water.
fluids.
Even though it offers 10 more water than filtered, better stick to reconfiguring the bladderfish. My taste buds will thank me. But enough about strange beverage choices, it was time to tackle the Aussie rescue mission. I navigated the underwater terrain past the creepvine biome and found myself at Life Pod 17.
Of course, it's busted wide open.
My PDA decided to play the Captain Obvious role and inform me about a fish being called a biter right after it had bitten me. Thanks for the update, PDA, but I'm gonna need a little bit more real-time intel next time, okay?
One moment.
So as I got deeper into the red grass biome, more wreckage rewarded my curiosity with blueprints of a mobile vehicle bay. A better mode of transportation? Sign me up. I did uncover the secrets of creating a small Seamoth and a laser cutting tool. Just when I thought things were getting chill, I ran into a shark with brainworms. Because of course, nothing's complete without a crazy moving brainworm infested shark. I let it do its thing and proceeded to learn about new energy generation from a bioreactor, and most importantly, a vending machine. Fingers crossed it didn't charge me for any snacks. Oh, and let's not forget barnacle popping session on the huge reef bags. These gentle giants had precious metals just waiting to be harvested. Not to mention the cuteness factor of the baby reef bag.
Oh, it's so cute. It's so small.
So, with all these plans brewing, the need for titanium ingots was at the top of my to-do list. I needed 10 titanium ores to make 1 titanium ingot, and because one storage box solution was never enough, I added a few floating boxes to my underwater abode. And also, the mobile vehicle bay, as the sun gracefully set on this aquatic wonderland. 4 floating droids joined me in a game of climb the steps, except my slippery fingers kept failing the challenge. Let's just say I couldn't quite nail the Seamoth summoning move. I still needed 2 more pieces to fully craft it. As the day drew to a close, a disturbing message about the captain's demise was a sobering reminder of the challenges ahead.
Keen in Life Pod 19. The captain is gone. I have assumed command. The last thing the captain did was give me coordinates for dry land.
But just as quickly, a new signal emerged, this time for Life Pod 19 and Officer Keen. Because when it rains rescue missions, it pours.
Rendezvous coordinates corrupted.
I embarked on an unexpected journey by hitchhiking a ride on a friendly reefback, nature's aquatic Uber. To my astonishment, it led me straight to a revelation. An island shrouded in mist. Hold on a second. An island? I've been swimming around here this entire time and there's a whole island right here. However, the pod just missed it and fell to the deep. Very deep. Well, it looks like this guy wasn't around anymore. Maybe I should just head back. Alright, just kidding. It was 300 meters deep, and I thought maybe I could do it all in one breath, so I took the plunge. As expected, the life pod was broken, but I was using more oxygen in deeper waters. It was a race against time. Okay, let's talk about this. I think I did well to recharge the glider, but if I didn't keep changing weapons, why did I use the fish? I probably would have made it. So back at the pod, I got a call from space. Rescue was on its way. I just had to sit tight.
This is Avery Quinn of Trading Ship Sunbeam. Aurora, do you read? Over?
Aurora, I'm out on the far side of the system. It's gonna take more than a week to reach your position. Do you still need our assistance? Over.
But it was going to take a while for them to get to me, so I decided to check out that island. It was being carried by ancient floaters, which had enough buoyancy to keep this massive landmass afloat.
Picking up multiple energy signatures on the island's surface.
So this island had multiple sources of food, as well as these weird spider things, which just decided to bite every now and again.
Oh great, somebody fetch the crowbar.
Well, it seemed like whoever survived made it to this island paradise and started cultivating these delightful delicacies. The plot thickens.
Ah yeah, it's always good having some lore with your survival games.
I decided to ascend the tallest mountain, not for some philosophical revelation, but for the ultimate ocean view. Little did I know this peak was the place to be. As I looked around, two things caught my eye, and both structures were perched upon the mountains of this island. Turns out I can scan these structures and use them for my potential future base. So base building was officially on the table, and I had a front row seat to the blueprints.
Okay, let's try to do some ultra instinct declimbing. This will work, right? Surely?
As if on cue, I exited the structure. The cruiser met its fiery end and dramatic explosion.
Has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. 3, 2.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Well, that's not very good, is it? I mean, that's the last thing you want to see when you're crash landed on an alien planet.
For your convenience, the radiation suit has been new blueprint improvised.
But I wasn't about to let the explosion rain on my parade. I've discovered a treasure trove of other buildings, a blueprint for ultra swimming flippy floppies, and the coveted stasis rifle blueprint. Now I can zoom around underwater like a fish on a mission and freeze things in place. The mystery lover in me couldn't resist, and beyond the blocks, a purple tablet beckoned like a forgotten treasure. Every corner of this place seemed to hold secrets, and I was on a mission to uncover them all. Back at the escape pod, a distress signal informed me that they were aware of the cruiser's explosive exit and that they'd be making their way to my rescue.
Did I expect for them to arrive in a swift manner? Well, maybe not.
I didn't know. We're now en route to your location. We're gonna bring you home. Sunbeam out.
But let's be real, I was having an absolute blast out here, improving my cardio with non-stop swimming. Please leave me here, thank you. My thirst for discovery led me to explore even more remnants of the crash site, and the underwater gift shop was open for business.
I found a scanner room blueprint, which might help me find rare resources.
I even yoinked an egg. Probably belonged to one of those sharks, but hey, finders keepers.
And then I got ambushed by what seemed to be tiger plants or something. These acted like turrets and shot out needles at me.
And if that wasn't enough, I uncovered the blueprint pieces for a Seamoth, the ultimate solo survival vehicle for underwater exploration, as the PDA described. Then I made a discovery that sent a shiver down my spine. One of those sand sharks, those beach-loving daredevils, had green spots, like it was infected with a zombie virus or something. Maybe that's why they were bugging. Day 6 brought forth the triumphant creation of the Seamoth. Seriously, those helpful drones attached to the mobile vehicle bay, they should just accompany me on my entire journey. I think that'd help a lot. Finally, the Seamoth! So, the Seamoth, the nifty little underwater speedster, was nothing short of amazing.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Forget the mundane slow-paced swims. I had an aquatic turbocharged sports car now, and it felt amazing. I mean, finally having a vehicle that could zip around while granting me an infinite oxygen tank. Talk about leveling up the underwater game. Of course, my initial experience with the Seamoth wasn't without a dash of unintentional mayhem. My first instinct upon getting behind the wheel was to run over a peeper. But I can't let food go to waste, so I cooked it and saved it for later.
Fish are friends, not food.
So as my resource collection game went strong, the only place to store them was by creating these floating boxes. I secretly hoped they didn't decide to float away, taking my precious stash with it. I rode over to the next distress call, this time at Life Pod 13. I went past some mushroom-like structures and ghost jelly rays. Then I found the pod, busted wide open as usual. Surprisingly, it wasn't the ghost jelly rays causing the chaos. They were actually pretty chill. And I did a little experiment with the scanner, and they didn't care an alien from another world was just swimming near them, shoving an alien scanner up their butt. So I ran one over. Yeah, they're pretty clueless. Then I stumbled upon something truly game-changing. The hull fragments for a behemoth of the sea, the mighty Cyclops. The ultimate underwater vessel was now on my radar. Finding the rest of the parts in the wreckage would be my next challenge. Speaking of wreckage, my Seamoth was already starting to leak. But I discovered yet another island, its signature practically screaming for attention.
Detecting massive energy signature in the region.
This island had those flying fish things from before, and those land crabs biting randomly. Dotted around the island, I found more purple tablets. These weren't human, so I wondered where they came from. As I approached the structure, this looked way more advanced than the previous building, and whoever made it had a cleaner or janitor of the century, because this place was clean AF.
I don't know what's going on in this abandoned temple or whatever, but this is pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting this.
I managed to yoink some glowy ion cubes, a true collector's item. The highlight though was the elevator.
The hell's this? Whoa! Yeah, I need one of these in my house. What the? There were all kinds of crazy items in this place, like an alien rifle, but my PDA was unable to convert it into English,
leaving me unable to craft it.
Unknown language.
And I couldn't tell you what to make of this random arch in the middle of the room.
What the hell is this for? Is this a portal perhaps?
My attempts to unlock its mysteries were met with failure, leaving me scratching my head wondering if this was just for decoration, though it did look like a Stargate.
But wait, there's more.
I came across something that can only be described as an alien Pokeball.
Naturally, I slapped another tablet onto the table, or the pedestal, and just like magic, it granted me access to another chamber. And that's where the real party started, an unexpected rendezvous with an alien stabby boy.
Information reads, warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon.
This unfriendly creature had a bone to pick with me, calling me infected. Infected? Maybe that green spotted shark gave me more than just a bump on the head. Will I end up spazzing out too? Was I going to turn into an underwater version of the Hulk? Who knows? Slightly disheartened and feeling slightly abused by the alien welcome committee, I hastily exited from the building. But good news, the rescue ship was en route. A glimmer of hope in this sea of confusion, or I thought, until a freakazoid alien appeared out of nowhere and decided I was their new playmate.
Yo, what? Yo, that is no fish. Yo, what kind of game is this?
And teleported me out of the Seamoth. With panic mode engaged, I swam back to my Seamoth and scurried my ass home. And then I come to my senses. I realize I have a repair gun. I could probably use this to repair the Seamoth. And it worked. So back at the pod, my radio was hacked by an unexpected guest.
Translated broadcast.
What the?
9 new biological subjects designated.
Oh, what have I done? I'm in trouble now.
Analyzing. Sharing subject locations with other
Agents.
Was it that stabby boy? Did I accidentally accept some alien cookies or something and everything was leaked to advertisers?
Give me cookie!
It was time to get off this planet. The events of Day 7 had me questioning everything, my sanity included.
Day 8 arrived with an unexpected cosmic show. Was that a solar eclipse?
Painting the landscape in shades of darkness before turning bright. It was as if this planet, or perhaps moon, was in an intricate dance with another larger planet. I was just venturing forth on my sea glide when I noticed this. A bone shark. And let me tell you, this wasn't just any run-off-the-mill brain-worm infested shark. This was a genuine threat, exuding an air of, I'm not here to make friends. The game just telling me that this underwater world wasn't just filled with playful fish. Survival was a two-way street, and some of the residents weren't exactly handing out welcome baskets.
Okay, truce, yeah? Truce. What the heck is that? There better be a deep sea shark. No way it comes to the surface, right? Nope. Nope.
Carefully keeping an eye on the below, I scooped up some rare resources like silver, gold, and lead. As I kept an eye on the stalkers, an intriguing observation surfaced. These guys weren't just ugly faces, they had a toothy surprise in store. Every time they picked up metal scraps, they'd drop one of their teeth, which could be used to strengthen glass. I used the scanner on myself, and yes, I was heavily infected.
Bacterial infection in your system is progressing, detecting skin irritation and immune system response. Further data required to identify bacterial strain.
Yep, no hope. I am going to be Pepsi soon. The cruiser wreckage was beckoning, but radiation levels weren't playing nice. So I meshed together some creepvine fibers and some lead to create an incredibly fashionable radiation suit. And I'm happy the suit came in a bundle deal, with the suit, a helmet and gloves, offering the best value for my crafting efforts. With my radiation suit I felt invincible, or at least as invincible as one could feel in a radioactive wasteland. But why stop there? What about some shelter? So I crafted a habitat builder. This was an absolute breakthrough, really amazing. Now I can create my underwater hub I've always dreamed of, without feeling claustrophobic in the tiny little life pod.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board. Coordinates attached. Request immediate assistance. 6 out.
Okay, so Life Pod 6 was close, but I only had approximate coordinates. So yeah, it can wait until the morning. On a delightful morning of the 10th, I approached the cruiser near the sandy shores. This cruiser could be at the tipping point or sinking point for all I know. I did hear a loud roar in the distance. Maybe it was just my imagination. There were some pretty good items to be found near the Aurora, like a propulsion cannon fragment. So as I was repairing my Seamoth, something strange started to happen. A bizarre hallucination appeared before my eyes, or within my eyelids. What am I? Wait, what are you? You call me, man? I could only assume it was the infection that plagued me. Tripping balls underwater wasn't exactly on my bucket list, but maybe it could have been those acid mushrooms. Still trying to find out what the hell just happened, I managed to find the entrance of the cruiser wreckage, which was barricaded by all these boxes. Alright. Maybe I need that propulsion cannon. So I headed back, thinking, why doesn't my Seamoth get flooded every time I open the door? And then... What is that? What is this? What? Nope. No. I didn't ask for this. I'm new here. What? Is it gone? Where'd it go? Huh? Man, that thing can swim quick. I'm out of here. Peace. Day 11. Feeling traumatized by what I experienced previously, I kept a watchful eye on the below. I was a third of the way in gathering all the Cyclops bridge fragments and smashing these shale chunks. Whoa, say that quickly. Smashing these stones, alright? These brought me the rarest resources like lithium, gold, and diamonds. Diamond! What the hell is this, man? First the weird tentacle freakazoids, and now giant sea snakes.
We're approaching the planet now. We have a landing site for you that's... well, it's better than the alternatives.
Alright, great. 40 minutes. I did wonder on where the location would be when they picked me up, but this call answered my question.
This may be your only communications window. You can't send a rescue ship all the way out there, so Aurora, you're just gonna have to meet us halfway.
Wait, halfway?
Uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer.
Sandwich run, you in?
Yeah, give me a second.
Is he ordering a
Black box data
sandwich?
shows the high security terminal in the captain's quarters is still functional.
Becky's leaving like in 5 minutes.
All right, well, tell Becky I'll just take the regular.
Regular?
Yeah, she'll know what I mean. The code should be...
If she doesn't?
Just tell her the regular, dude.
Okay.
The
If
code...
I say regular,
Just tell
she's
her the
like,
regular,
"What's the
dude."
regular? I come all the way back up here.
The code should be 2679.
I got his code.
Regular's just a ham and cheese.
Okay, would you just say ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese.
Okay.
Oh man, that got me hungry. After hearing that mouth-watering conversation, I created the propulsion cannon. Now the only thing left to do was to create some portals.
Well done.
And I had the diamonds to craft the all-important laser cutting tool. So I had some time left. And so I thought, let me create that base just in case we came back and totally not exploit the planet's resources and destroy half the population of bladderfish to make fresh bottles of water. Yep, totally not that. So in order to finish the moon pool, I needed to fuse together the titanium ingot with lithium to create the plastisteel ingot. What's it called? Plasteel? Ah, the plasteel ingot. This item was tough as nails. Scratch that, it was tougher than nails. Enough to make a Terminator sweat.
Chill out, dickwad.
My underwater base was truly starting to take shape. Okay, it's a potato. I know guys.
Emergency power.
Ah yes, I was just missing some power. So yes, as a responsible homeowner, I had to get more resources to fund this oceanic power plant or something. And then it was ready. I could finally breathe with the help of a bioreactor. My solution was to utilize and keep alive the fishes. Yes, while I gained energy from them, absorbing them in the process. See, look, they're fine. They're fine. They're in there somewhere, you know. Anyway, the base was powered and oxygen was Gucci. And finally I had a place where I could store all the goodies. I kind of felt a little bit bad sucking the energy from all the fish, so I slapped a solar panel on the top of my base, you know, thinking green and all. Built a fabricator, some storage boxes, an aquarium, and a coffee joint, which gave me free American coffee. Ah, yeah.
Free coffee underwater. I don't know how it created it, but yeah. With less than 6 minutes to go, the rescue plane was incoming, and I had to rush to the second island where the landing coordinates was located.
Survivor,
But just as I got there...
Man, I don't know how you held out down there. We broke an atmosphere, and we're descending towards the landing site. It's coming from the building? Change course. Set thrusters to full.
The alien building shot it down. Yeah, maybe that's how I got shot down in the first place. So I went back home and made myself some coffee. Yeah, this was going to be a long stay. There was also a minor flood which tested my quick fix skills. Apparently the hulls needed some extra reinforcement. I also put up some posters I found, and I also created a vending machine so I can get fat and think about life. How it created all these snacks I don't know, but some wise guy said energy is neither created nor destroyed. So yeah, science.
Science!
To balance my diet, I planted those seeds I found on the first island. And it tasted pretty cool, giving me plenty of energy and water, a lot better than the grilled fish. So day 15, I went back to the cruiser with a propulsion cannon and I blew away everything in my path. Finally I could get through, but as with any grand entrance, there was some housekeeping to be done.
Housekeeping!
With the fire extinguisher in hand, I tackled the flames that were hindering my progress. The laser cutter proving its worth, unlocking areas within the cruiser.
Housekeeping!
Despite the chaos, I couldn't help but notice the eerie absence of bodies or people. What exactly happened here? How many people are on this ship? Ow, did these spiders eat them all?
Housekeeping!
Prawn suit fragments were scattered amongst the flames. This would be amazing. It would be like an underwater Iron Man. Inside, I repaired this reactor, praying that the radiation issues stopped. I did test my parkour skills by stacking boxes and trying to reach the ladder at the top, but I can only bunny hop so high with my flippy floppies, and after 30 minutes of trying, I gave up. I wonder what was up there. Inside the barracks, it was a treasure trove of items. I stole posters, how to craft a table, some shelves, beds, and some broken science equipment. Then I turned into a space pirate, or I guess just a normal sea pirate.
I come in anyway?
By hacking a room and stealing some toys. Wait a minute, what kind of pirate is that? Yeah, these toys are now mine. And in the captain's quarters, I learned how to create the Neptune rocket system, which would allow me to escape from this planet. Oh. Then as I got home, I decorated my base with all the new items I received. Things were looking real homely. You know when you sit down and you're like, this is one of those moments. What's that? Another rescue I'm probably going to be late to? Yep, this was LifePod 12, which sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Great. However, this led me to a really interesting zone. The bulb bush biome. Yep, triple B. These bioluminescent wonders brighten the landscape with ethereal beauty. I learned how to create a scanner room and also started the progress for a modification station. The mod station would allow me to improve my gear. This would be crafting on a new level. And I got carried away picking up these new items. Not once, but twice. Firstly, a shark attack. And then... Oh my god, how do I get out of here? Come on! Woo! Made it. That was close. As I expected, LifePod 12 was long gone. Back at the base, I put up a trash can, the rest of the toys, the ship that I found from the captain's quarters, and the bed, a nuclear waste disposal for trash. And at this point, I realized there wasn't going to be any much radiation because I sorted that out. So I replaced the radiation helmet with a rebreather, giving me more oxygen efficiency. Day 18, I was fighting off spiders in the early hours of the morning on island number 2, which was the best spot for lithium. There were a couple of purple tablets lying on the floor, and I activated the archway, or the Stargate, using the ion cube. Yes. Where does this go, I wonder? As I went through, I didn't notice anything different, so I went back. Clueless. Later that evening, I discovered the moon pool, which was an interesting building, and then, in the darkness, I was ambushed by a recent enemy. Heal. Yeah, got you on my Pokedex, you sneaky warper. Day 19, I created a moon pool, which allows me to dock my Seamoth for repairs and upgrades. But with the added extension of the base,
The hull pressure was increasing, so I added some reinforcement panels, just as the AI explained to me I'd go insane without a pet.
Or anthropomorphizing an inanimate object.
Well done!
The next distress signal led me to the Jelly Shroom Caverns. Now this was a sight to behold. I wasn't expecting such vibrant purple mysterious light in the dark abyss. But then there was a creature swimming inside the Jelly Shroom, so I had a look. Oh my god, again! Ow! That was a crab snake. And that's the last time I'd get close to one of those. As I delved deeper into the cavern, traces of the Degassi group came to light. So this is the same group of people that came here before, and they were going to land on Island 1 but fell down to the bottom, remember? And it looked like they were trying to harness the power of nuclear energy. And surprisingly, they also had a water filtration system, which is a lot better than farming up these water fish. It's poisonous. So again, no survivors, but a lot of cool tech. Looks like this ancient civilization or people before me came really far. Just above the cavern, I learned how to create the thermal plant and the mod station. So it wasn't just the Degassi group that were here before me. As I'd seen before, there were a lot of alien structures nearby as well. I also encountered an alien vent, which was pumping out something, somewhere. There were still a lot of things we had to find out. Day 20, with a fifth of my journey almost complete. I started off the day eating a ton of potato chips, or crisps. Why? Because they have really low nutritional value, so I needed a lot of it just to keep healthy. Come on! I kind of took the PDA's advice. My base had also turned into a sanctuary of sorts by collecting all these diverse local fish. Uh-oh, is that a diseased fish? Yeah, that's better. Clean and healthy fish. Trust me, I wasn't going crazy. Yet. Alright, so the first part of the upgrades was centered around the Seamoth. I installed the vehicle upgrade console into the moon pool and called my Seamoth Moth Plus. No, that's not right. There you go. Mothy. This thing also had a working fabricator, which allowed me to upgrade the Seamoth's capabilities. I created the depth module, which allows my Seamoth to dive deeper, and an energy solar charger. And like an idiot, I applied 2 depth modules. It clearly says it doesn't stack. Dumbass. But Mothy wasn't the only one getting a makeover. What? What the hell happened here? Then I upgraded my own gear using the mod station. First up was the creation of a lightsaber-like thermoblade. The thermoblade could instantaneously cook the catch of the day. Next up, I upgraded my fins. And finally, I upgraded my oxygen tank to reach a whopping 225 seconds of air. From those bits and bobs of trash that I found earlier in the cruiser, I decided to place them in my base because, you know, they make me look more clever than I actually am. If anyone else comes on this planet after me and I'm long gone, they'll probably think, wow, this guy was a genius. Speaking of the Aurora, I also learned how to create the Neptune launch platform, which I finally had the resources for, so I began construction on day 21. Thank God for these tiny nanobots, otherwise it would have taken me eons to make this myself. I mean, I thought that was it, to be honest, but then when I checked the console, I had to create a Neptune gantry, which looked like something like an eye stand. Resources were not an issue. I managed to get everything all in a day. Yay! Oh my god, now we need boosters. Where the hell do I get nickel? Going on the eye stand, gantry, I was elevated to new heights. I was greeted by a panoramic vista. Behold, look at this view. The shimmering expanse of a vast blue canvas, opened with endless possibilities. A whole lot of nothing. Day 23. I went back to the alien vent because I remember seeing these red shiny things, rubies. So these rubies combined with the gel sacks found in this area would create the aerogel, which was the next step in creating new items. I'm pretty sure these would go for a lot of money back home. Then, as I was checking out this alien vent, I noticed a peeper. Looked like it was leading a stream of stars, like Super Mario. What the? Interesting. Where did that guy come from? I think these guys had like an immunity to the infection. There was still more stuff waiting to be found, like this power cell charger. Then I thought I was seeing things like a speck of dust, but this was actually the smallest creature I've ever discovered, the rock grub. This thing's so small you could hardly see it. Too bad you couldn't cook it for anything. Not enough protein, I guess. And the discovery of a new creature, Reginald.
Oh, Reginald! world? I disagree!
As I ventured further into the depths, remember the biter from earlier? Well, down here, in the darkness, there was another fish. Probably its cousin. It was called a blighter. And remember the spider-head crabs from the first island? Well, these guys were its long-legged cousins, the blood crawlers. And just to add to the creepiness, there were these blood roots, which were these vines with these blood sacs attached to them. Oh my god, what in God's name is this?
Oh my god.
And that's as far as I could go on day 23. I mean, my Seamoth could not reach below 300 meters, otherwise it would just implode due to the pressure. Facing my fears, I went down solo. As I got down into the depths, yeah, it got a bit claustrophobic down there, I ain't gonna lie. I thought, nope, better come back with some gadgets. So I took a U-turn and went round, past the Mushroom Kingdom and the Ghost Rays. I found a spinefish, which was really bony. I don't think I could eat that. And also a blood vine. So when I went in from this direction, leaving the Mothy behind as I went straight into the darkness below, I realized I entered a cavern.
Local scans show a nearby opening, leading to a biome with extensive fossilized remains.
Okay. I mean, this place is huge. Yeah, I don't think I want to do this just as my own. I'm just a little scrawny human. I need some metallic reinforcement. I saw something glittering in the distance, and I had to see what it was. I actually thought it was a machine or something. But nope, it turned out to be an organic fish called an ampiel. And he didn't mind that I was shoving a scanner up its butt, but yeah, he was pretty chill. There were a lot of new things in this area, like these deep shrooms. Great, more shrooms to trip balls from. And then I got attacked by a shark. As I got to my Mothy, it imploded. I didn't know they could do that. That shark just literally destroyed Mothy. No! Oh no, wait. I'm below 300 meters. Oh, maybe the pressure destroyed it. There's only one thing left to do. Swim back 1,500 meters back to base. And I had some decent loot on me as well, to be fair. Amongst the wreckage on a nearby wreckage, I picked up swimming charge fins and a prawn suit drill arm. I got back to base and I installed the power cell charger, thinking that it would recharge my batteries. However, it seemed like I needed another sort of charger. These were for the power cells, which were the big ones. There it is, found it in another wreckage. The next day I found the battery charger, close by actually, in the sand biome. Again, missing Mothy, I was coming to my end. Not this time. Right, back at base, like the first thing I did was install that battery charger, because I had a lot of these batteries just needed to be charged. We were in desperate need of a Seamoth, so I created another one on the night of the 25th. That moon goes crazy at night. With the Seamoth created, I docked it into the moon pool. I immediately created upgrades for the Seamoth depth module, storage module, and the hull reinforcement. I gave him a lick of paint and called this guy Mothy number 2. Since there was a huge cavern underwater, I thought it might be best if I create these beacons, just in case I get lost. With the Seamoth, I was now able to zip around and find new items like the alien containment, Cyclops thermal reactor, a prawn suit propulsion arm, a prawn suit grapple arm. I have no idea what these were, but I'm pretty sure they would be helpful. And finally, the nuclear reactor. Yes, it's nuclear. No, we're talking about nuclear. Oh god, I'm going crazy. Day 26, I started to map the area out with those beacons. Okay, so we need to reference points which go a little bit deeper, right? So I need to map these out. I had no idea that they would be so useful in locating resources and entrance points. Whoa. These guys are stalking me. There he is again. A golden peeper. Look at this guy. I'm gonna keep it. No one saw that, right? I was excavating the dunes region, finding Cyclops depth modules and the shield generator. Then I heard a roar. I swam quickly outside, only to find a Reaper searching the wreckage. I got out of there just in time.
Yo, is he gonna fight the Whooper? Yo, it's gonna be an epic battle. Oh, he pieced out. Again, another vent. What the heck? Oh no, these Whoopers are everywhere.
The fauna was like nothing I'd ever seen. I mean, sure, it was dark, around 300 meters below sea level, but the fauna made it seem like it was a peaceful area. Well, until I arrived. Well, seemed like a nice area, so I called it the Anchor Balls Zone.
What is this? Looks like an alien something. Let's check it out.
Oh my god, wait! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Bodyguards. This area must have been special, because it had 2 shark bodyguards, and one of them was infected. I managed to get inside and have a look around. It looked like one of those archways, the Stargates, but I couldn't find the pedestal to activate it. Day 27, I just gathered resources, because why not? I'm a hoarder. So a lot of diamonds and lithium and gold.
Okay, better stay away from that guy, freaking Whooper. This huh? Whoa! Rando! Oh shit! Okay, he's cool, he's chill, he's chill. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Now, get to the chopper!
So day 28, I had a scary encounter with a giant crab squid. A creature with an uncanny juxtaposition of cute eyes and a malevolent intent. I quickly realized this thing was aggressive and swam away.
I'm meeting all kinds of weird creatures now, man.
The crab squid had a potential to unleash a biological EMP.
What? Stupid fish. Never trust a fish or a squid. Definitely not a squid or anything that looks like a spider.
So as I returned to the jelly shroom cabin and placed a beacon, a crab squid appeared to be ensnared within a jelly.
Huh? I don't know what happened there. A trick of perception? A mirage? Who conjured this mystery? Are they wizards? Fight me now, Snake. Yeah, you're not gonna eat me now, huh? You're not gonna eat me now, huh?
But more importantly, magnetites. So these were an important ingredient in upgrades.
Ooh yeah, look at all these resources. Organized, yeah boy.
Aquariums were good, but this alien containment was even better. It was the perfect habitat to hatch some eggs I found.
Bring on board. They may also be studying you.
Studying me? What the? Okay, how do I get inside this thing? Ah yes, the hatch. Alright, let's drop these in and let's see what hatches. That's a lot of eggs.
So now that we had the magnetites, I was able to create the depth module version 2 and also version 3 thanks to the rubies. This would max out my sea moth's diving capabilities. So now I could reach a depth of 900 meters. Yes, that's insane! And I also created the sea moth perimeter defense system.
I didn't know how to use this before, but I'll try it again and see if it works.
With the magnemites, I could also create a stasis rifle. So now I could freeze creatures in place. Now this would be an interesting weapon against the ocean's mighty creatures.
You can survive one more day.
Ah, so that's how that works.
I could even use it to freeze smaller creatures in place and pick them up with ease. And I was turning into a Pokemon breeder or something because the eggs started to hatch. First up was the crayfish. Thankfully these did not explode in the aquarium. And the spadefish. The next morning a gasopod and stalker hatched. Still little babies. And then I released the peeper with the golden chemtrails. Now that the Seamoth diving capabilities were maxed out, I could finally enter LifePod 19's whereabouts. And that was within the Bloodvine zone. Getting a little creepy. A whole lot of nothing in here. So they sort of hinted towards the underwater cavern, where I went next. There's a whole bunch of alien machinery, a giant Leviathan fossilized skull. This thing was huge. How big do these things get? I met some ghost rays. Now these were pretty chill, same as the jelly rays from before. And then I encountered a doorway, which was locked. And on the pedestal, I had to insert an orange tablet. What the hell? Where do I get one of those? I found the ruins of the Degassi Group station within the Anchor Ball zone. This place was surrounded by crab squids and warpers. Perhaps I was making too much noise within this Seamoth. The crab squids were spamming their EMP pulse. I avoided it a couple of times until... Uh-oh. That's not good. And then, in the urgency of the moment, I froze a warper in place and dashed inside the complex. Oh shit, they're attacking my Seamoth. Uh-oh. In a state of panic, I was unable to exit the building complex. I looked around for the exit and I was unable to find it. And when I did, I couldn't even exit. And after a loud bang, I was too late. Mothy 2 was destroyed.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh no. I was 500 meters below sea level and I had no ride. I made haste and swam straight to the surface. Oh man, I mean I panicked. I didn't know where the exit was. I mean I knew where it was, but I couldn't exit. I managed to find myself right underneath the second island. I hurried back to base and there was another message on the radio.
This is LifePod 2 coordinates attached. We're way past our safe depth and bleeding O2.
At this point, I needed to create another Mothy, which I called Mothy 3. And this time I gave it some Bumblebee-esque colours, with a nicely fashioned red leather interior. And just in case that happened again, I created the swim charge fins, which allowed me to charge up my gizmos as I swam. Pure efficiency there. And then something spooky, a ghost within my base. Turned out to be a hullfish. How did this guy get out? And as I put it back into the aquarium, I realized there's already a hullfish in there. So I used it as a snack. Then I thought about creating some defense. So I mixed the rubies with the gel sac to create aerogel, which would be used to create a Seamoth torpedo system. Now that Mothy 3 was fully upgraded, made sure that this thing would not be destroyed. So I tested the perimeter defense system, and it scares nearby creatures, as well as paralyzing smaller fish. Yoink, yoink.
Playing partially translated broadcast.
Destroyed. Mode. Patrol. New targets unaccounted for. 1.
What the hell? Me? Okay, there was another thing which I needed to test out, and that was the torpedo system. So remember the gas pods I could collect from those bovine beauties? I could create a shell using titanium and use them as missiles. And the results were not that good. Maybe they were immune to their own farts. Day 38 would be a day to remember. I finally learned the Cyclops, so I ran back and tried to craft it. Now it said I needed to move into deeper waters.
Cannot build here. Must be constructed in deeper water.
So I moved the mobile vehicle bay.
Cannot build here.
And it still asked me to move it to a deeper water. What? How big is this thing?
It's designed to be operated by a 3-person crew. Only experienced helmspeople should attempt to pilot this vehicle solo.
Oh shit. Finally, the birth of the submarine base, the Cyclops. This thing was really big. I mean, look at it. This thing was not just an ordinary portable submarine. This thing doubled up as a base, with plenty of inbuilt storage. Then upstairs was the reactor, which was powered by power cells. 3 on each side. This made it really expensive to run. It also came with a fabricator for upgrades. You could even dock a secondary vehicle, so maybe my Mothy could be docked here. And then the control room allows me to monitor the ship's health, toggle some lighting, and also allowed me to rename and recolor the submarine. I called it the SS Omega Lol and gave it the same colors as Mothy number 3. Alright, what do these lights do? Ooh, hold on. Light dev. Atmosphere. My immersion. I guess to save power? To keep a low profile? Alright, time to give it a test drive. Holy, it's like being a captain of a frigate, like on Star Trek or something. Let's check the, what's this? Silent running. Ah, stealth mode. Okay, cameras. Camera 1. Camera 2. And 3. Alright, let's go full speed. How fast does this thing go? Oh man, it's like driving a double-decker bus or something. Am I losing power quick? I'm making a lot of noise. Whoa, what's that? And there it is, the SS Omega Lol. So wait, how do I dock this?
Systems online.
Final item to be crafted in my craze of accomplishments was the propulsion cannon. This thing produces a percussive shot which repels anything. Interesting device. The eggs were being hatched slowly but surely. Look at that, the jelly ray. All of these creatures are now tamed in my aquarium. I even got the ampoule. I also crafted up a fantastic water filtration system, so now I can get free water bottles by extracting the salt from the seawater. Then it was time to rescue LifePod 2. Officer U! As I got there, I found a time capsule. No, just once I want to meet some other people alive. Everyone seems to be gone, it's just me. Alone. In this world. I was pretty sure at this point in my journey that I would be faced to go down into the underwater cavern. So I placed a beacon. So for days 41 to 44, I spent the time looking for a forward base near the entrance to that cave. This looks like a good place to put it. Oh, hull damage. Oh, okay, because we're more deeper, we need to reinforce it even more. After reinforcing the base due to the high water pressures and repairing the damage from the inside, I placed the bioreactor. Alright guys, look away now. Look away. You didn't see nothing. With the forward base now created, it was now time to explore the underwater cavern. This place was crazy. There were dense waterfalls and rivers, and smoke coming out of these hydrothermal vents. And inside, crystalline sulfur. There was a lot of bony fish, but also something scary which came out of the depths. Its wailing cry getting louder as it approached. Holy shit, what the hell is this? Oh my god. Does it work? Come on, defense system. After scaring it away, something bizarre happened. It defied the laws of physics, enclosing itself within the walls. Wait a minute, is it bugged? And then I saw a huge alien underwater base.
This alien structure appears to have collapsed
Yeah,
to the sea floor.
I could hear some feline-like cries coming from the waters, and it turned out to be one of these river prowlers. And they were pretty passive, which is surprising given their appearance. Inside the facility, I found a data damage report, some ion cubes, and what seemed to be like some inhumane activity going on inside. I found a dead sea dragon egg, some scully remains of some weird creature, and remains of warpers, like a scientific experiment.
Residual biological evidence suggests indigenous life forms were brought to this location and subjected to intensive study.
So the warpers had fallen victim to whatever the aliens were. I mean, I thought the warpers were the aliens, but it seems like this was created by something else. So there was a bigger evil at work.
Data pertaining to the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution. Detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins. A self-scan is strongly advised.
That didn't sound good. Alright, let me check myself before I wreck myself.
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system. Medical report recorded to databank. It is imperative you find a way to neutralize the infection.
What? Oh, sheesh. Yo, is this a horror game or something? I'm freaking out right now. So, with time running short, I had to get off this planet. In order to study the world's surface, I created a scanner room in the forward base, which showed a mesmerizing 3D map of the resources near me. Adding upgrades to this drastically increased how far it could reach. Yo, that's pretty neat. With a sense of curiosity and also slight mischief, I wanted to see how these tame creatures would react in the wild. Maybe I could use these as personal bodyguards and create an army of them. Ow. They're not really threatening towards me, but they are chasing other fish. Do they hurt me? Yep, okay, I do get zapped. And then came the sulfurfish. I wondered if it would explode on impact, but it seemed to be okay for a while, bouncing up and down the surface, until, yeah, it exploded. And remember the portal I found on Island 2? Well, apparently it leads to Island 1, and I had no idea about this before. Huh? So, yeah, I had to swim all the way back. Oh, shit. Forward base is looking more homely. I need some more snacks to set up. On day 50, I passed the waterfall to reach the Tree of Avatar, surrounded by ghost rays. And in my haste to get down here, I left the scanner back at base. Oops. I reached the depth of 900 meters, which clearly meant that my Seamoth was unable to go further. The good news is, I was able to find the nickel, which I spent so long looking for. And I was still getting hacked by Skrillex. What the hell is that? At this point, it became clear that I needed to make the Cyclops my new forward mobile base. The problem was, it sucked up too much juice. I needed the thermal reactor module. This converted the heat energy from the thermal vents into power, but I had no idea where to get the kyanite from.
Ahead flagged. Emergency speed. Warning. Vessel counterfeit. Excessive noise.
What excessive noise? Day 52, I had learnt a lot of the items found in my PDA except for the prawn suit, so I went back to the Aurora to find if there were any missing blueprints. And there it was, hanging above the ceiling. I could now create the prawn suit. Back in base 2, I struggled to meet the power demands of the scanner room. Recognizing the need to create a more potent source of energy, I made the calculated decision to create a nuclear reactor. Day 53, I created my latest invention, an Iron Man-like suit, which I called the Jelly Man.
Jelly? Sweet!
I gave it the drill arm, a grapple arm, a jump pack, an energy module, and a depth module. This thing was stacked. This would allow my prawn suit to explore rugged terrain and excavate ores with ease. I felt it was time to move the SS Omega Lol and Jellyman to the new forward base location. And while I was at base number 1, I checked the aquarium. I think I made a mistake. I hatched a crab squid. No, this was messed up. I mean, what if the parents came and hunted me down because of this thing? Oh shit. I think I should just leave this guy in the containment. I also upgraded the Cyclops depth modules to 1 and 2, as well as the sonar upgrade, which came in really helpful. This allowed me to see my environment, essentially giving me underwater hacks. At night, I went face to face with a deadly creature. Oh shit. He's not going to come down here, right? Hold on. Let me quickly heal this. Armed with a stasis rifle, I was able to freeze the ghost Leviathan in place momentarily. Ow! Holy damage. That was like 80%. Okay, heal. And gotcha. Hey, whoa, he didn't attack me that time. Alright, let's try this out. Maybe this will be a little bit better.
Engine powering up.
Gotta love the built-in sonar. Hey, built-in! The sonar's navigation was a real game changer. Steady. Steady.
Steady, steady.
A sea dragon? What the hell is that? AWOL was calling. I scanned the underwater avatar tree and headed downwards, towards the center of the planet, which could only be described as
liquid hot magma.
I noticed that there probably wouldn't be enough drinkable water, so I created a coffee machine or two. I still had to figure out how to grow some garden beds inside the Cyclops, but in the meantime, I resorted to using my trusty thermoblade to convert fish into cooked food. There were magmarangs and red eye fishes. Aye. Oh my god, why is it so hot? So I grabbed some, thinking of my aquarium back home. There were also these larvae which thrived in these conditions. They looked harmless. I delved deeper using the prawn suit, and then I discovered the kyanite crystals. I made sure to grab a lot of these for the upgrades I needed. I heard an eerie cry echoing through the depths, and then I got ambushed by this diseased fish. Whatever it was highly aggressive. It turned out to be a lava lizard. I was happy with the harvest. I managed to gather a lot of kyanite crystals, but then when I got back to the Cyclops, I noticed its power was really low, so I had a look. Those harmless larvae were actually sucking the energy juice by attaching themselves onto the Cyclops. These stupid larvae was sucking all the juice out of my ship. It was causing me to get tired. The stakes were higher than ever, and I needed emergency water supply ASAP, so I returned back to the forward base as quickly as I could. Alright, thank God I didn't encounter any ghostly surprises. Finally made it back to base. Alright, we need some HP, we need some water. And then let's stock up on some resources, and then we're Gucci. Oh, it feels so much better. Grab the food. Alright, now let's get back to the lava biome. And we're getting a lot of resources. Look at all these kyanite crystals. Now we can make the main all-important Cyclops thermal reactor module. That's the main thing we need. And since I was near the surface, I thought I might as well check out what's going on in base number 1. All the eggs have hatched. Look at that. I swear the crab squid has actually gone bigger. Holy. Right, now day 63, I headed back to the lava biome. I managed to do this all in one jump, which was quite amazing actually. So, with the materials I grabbed earlier from the second base, I went up to the SS Omega-Lol, went to the fabricator, and managed to craft the thermal reactor module. This would help convert the heat energy into electrical power. Now that's free energy. Well, as long as these larvae didn't keep sucking out all the juice. Alright, let's have a look. 332. And 333. Yeah! Seriously, what kind of adaptation is this? Oh yeah, you know those underground volcanic lava things? Worms? Yeah, they like stuck in on electrical equipment, don't they? Yeah, don't you hate it when that happens? Being underground for so long, I lost the sense of time. And I don't know what day it was, it must have been day 64 or day 65. But I created a bench and just sat there waiting for the SS Omega-Lol to recharge. I think it started off IRL by taking a huge dump. Yes. I was ready to leave the starting area of the lava biome and delve deeper. But I needed to enhance the diving capabilities of the ship. So I created the MK3 depth module and I was ready to roll. Up to a depth of 1,700 meters. So the entrance opened up into a giant cavern swarmed with warpers, patrolling the expanse. I actually shat myself at this point until I realized that they couldn't teleport me out, so I was quite safe, probably because of the enamel glass again. Then something growled and attacked. What the f was that? A lava shark? There's even infected creatures way down. What the hell? That was a colossal dragon squid. I had a look outside and scanned the skeleton of a fallen leviathan. Did that squid eat it, or did he get lost? I need a coffee, bro. Give me something. It's like I'm trapped underground with Godzilla or something. Okay, I think I'm ready. Let's go.
Powering up.
got laser meteor balls. Alright, let's go slowly. Maybe its vision is based on movement. Let's go. Now's not the time to trip balls, man. Ah!
I am what you seek. Want to
what?
Help.
Get out of here. Don't you see I'm in the middle of something? I have my base up and this is kind of freaky. I am fully immersed right now. Cinema! This is cinema! There it is, dudes. The final complex structure. Get out of here! Midway through day 68, I encountered an alien building with a pedestal which required a blue tablet. Wait, I must have missed something. Where do I get a blue tablet from? So I backtraced my steps from before and got to the opening where the cavern was, with all the vents and geysers, and I discovered an inconspicuous door nestled within the center of the towering geysers. It was a nice day. I managed to restock on coffee and headed inside.
Volcanic rock, which has formed in this area, can be carbon dated to between 800 and 3000 Earth.
Stepping through the threshold, there was a hidden facility concealed within the very heart of the underwater deep-sea volcano, acting like some sort of power plant. Inside, I encountered robotic droid, like they were from an ancient, long-lost civilization. There was also a control panel requiring a purple tablet, and inside was the blue tablet. So there it was. Day 70. It really felt like my journey was coming to a close. It felt like I accomplished so much within the last 70 days. And finally, by slapping the blue tablet, I could finally venture into what hopefully could have been the final room. This place was an enigma. This room felt like a trophy room. It had all kinds of different trophies and tablets. I couldn't use any of them, but there was an ion cube fabricator, which automatically created ion cubes. And in a very sad note, there was a preserved fetus, a sea emperor. What the heck was this? Those creepy prehistoric scientists were back, weren't they? And it seemed like I found the source of the Super Mario starred peepers. They were all being released from this facility. Hey yo, so that's where the super peepers come from. Maybe that's why the vents are around. So these pipes lead to the vents, and then the vents distribute the good peepers.
This room appears to be a biological archive storing more than 40 indigenous egg specimens in different states of development.
Yo, this guy's got more Pokemon eggs than Professor Oak. What the? Alright, where do I get one of these, man? Knowledge of creating the blue tablet was now stored in my PDA, and I was able to make it using kyanite and the ion cubes. This has to be the last room. It has to be. I'm going crazy. But that's when I had the unexpected encounter. Let's see what's down here. Whoa, what's that noise? Ah!
Are you here to play?
He's a Jedi. He's a Jedi squid.
Here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bored me. Now they're gone. And instead, we have you. We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it, as they did.
Okay, so this Giga mind-reading squid was some sort of guardian, it seemed, but it looked like it was trapped within some sort of facility. So that's why the sharks are chill here. Ah, the alien vents. What are these? Are they the big dragon's eggs? Whoa, this is a nice cinematic shot. Oh, something's happening. Something's happening.
My young need to hatch, to play.
Yay, I want to play.
We have been here so long. The others built a passage
See?
to
Stargates.
reach the world outside. I asked them for this freedom, but they could not hear me.
Yeah, maybe they were wearing tinfoil hats.
If you help us, I will give you freely what the others tried
Is that $100 million, huh? Or maybe the secret to immortality? Huh? You have to tell me, Jedi Squid. You have to tell me.
Oh yeah, buddy, you're gonna give me freedom? What are you gonna do? Shoot me back into space? Huh? What are you doing? Oh! Yo, that's pretty sick.
Okay. I open the portal. What's next, Jedi Squid?
With the passage you have opened, my young can leave this place. But first they must feel the time is right and break free of their shells. This is what the others could not force from me.
What's that? What's the secret, Precious?
I give the secret.
What secrets, eh?
Ah! It spoke of hatching its young and releasing them in the wider world beyond the facility's walls. I found myself bound by a shared understanding, an unspoken agreement that I would undertake on this mission on its behalf. To accomplish this, I required a blend of unique flora scattered across different corners of the alien world. Now it all made sense. All the portals in the previous room led to the closed gates I met in the previous days around the world. Each portal transported me to a distinct biome where I collected the necessary ingredients. Steady, Mr. Ghost Ray. Sorry, Mr. Ghost Leviathan. You remember what happened last time, yes? Yes. Good doggy. That's it, we got all of them. Alright, let's check it out. Hatching enzymes. See, I'm a nice guy. I go through all this trouble, you know. With the hatching enzymes in hand, I returned to the hidden chamber where the squid awaited. Alright, yo, I held up my part of the bargain, alright? Now what are we gonna get in return? Got your babies out here? What's next? As I administered the enzymes, I sensed a shift, an exchange of gratitude and a connection that transcended species.
My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end. What will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and never wake up? Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seas to a new land. Or a creature so small,
like those tiny little grub things
between the grains of sand.
Yo, I thought I was tripping.
Farewell.
The young squids, freed from their imprisonment, embarked on a journey of their own. Their passage through the final gate led them to the outskirts of the island I came to know so well, Island Number 2. They were no longer bound by the confines of the facility. Their future was one of freedom and possibility. All this happened while Big Mama passed out. She seemed to succumb to fatigue. It was as if her weight of her maternal responsibility had finally been lifted. She could now rest, knowing her young was safe. So I escaped with the babies, and they seemed to poop out these globules.
Okay, this looks good. I mean, look at it. It looks like magical poop. Magical squid poop that has healing properties. Eh? Oh, I'm getting stronger, Kakarot!
Kakarot, you dog! You did it!
Remarkably, it seemed to heal the very infection that had haunted me since my arrival on this alien planet. I scanned myself once more, and I was clean.
Sign of bacterial infection.
I ran back to the spiky buoy, which was right next to the teleport gateway.
You missed.
Ah, damn it, man! And he deactivated the alien defense cannon.
Is that good or bad? I mean, he didn't have to turn the whole lights off.
Day 73. This is far from over. I returned back to base number 1 and dropped off my new creatures and new eggs which I found. Even though I was cured, there was still some unfinished business. I retraced my steps back to where I lost Mahi number 2. I was in such a haste the last time I came here, I missed something very significant. The orange tablet. This made me think of the gate next to the colossal skeleton.
Alright. There's no ghost Leviathan protecting it this time, is it? Alright, good. Here we go. Orange tablet.
This would look like another testing facility, maybe a breeding facility, because I found a really curious teeny weeny egg lying on the desk. Day 75 I needed to create the Neptune rockets, and that needed a fuel source, ion cells, which I never had before. The only other place I could think of was a thermal nuclear plant, which was in the lava biome. And there it was. The facility had the secrets to make the ion power cell. And that was made using ion batteries, which needed the ion cubes, which were created using the fabricator. After spending so much time in the lava biome, I finally made it out to the surface, and on day 77, I crafted the fuel reserve. What? I gotta make another thing?
Stupid electric eel was busting my pod every now and again.
And on day 78, I finally made the cockpit, and the spaceship was now complete. I renamed it the Big Boy. Later that day, day 78, the egg had hatched into a cuttlefish.
I've never seen this creature before. Very strange. It's really cute.
This creature was very intelligent, and you could actually interact with them, performing magic tricks and earning its affection.
Yeah, let's see if you can interact with the squid. The crab squid. What's going on, buddy? No, come back, I want to pet you.
I felt bad I was going to leave this planet and keep the creatures locked away in the alien containment until they perished, so I decided to release them, starting with the crab squid. I was hoping it didn't attack me. Then it was the lava lizard.
Nope, this guy seems to be okay. Whoa, he just got zapped. I wonder if they just guarded the perimeter of my base. Ghost Jelly, clueless as usual. So the eel had beef with the lava lizard. Alright, let's test out the sharks.
My hatch companions did not seem to attack me, which was really cool.
Dude, look how happy the sand shark is. This thing's full of joy. Look at it. Yep, all the creatures look happy. Look at this sand shark. Does what he does best. Yep, all the creatures were happy they were released.
So then, as I was cleaning up and found unexplored areas, I found another cuttlefish.
You are currently inside a long calcified root system. Evidence suggests it was eaten away by other life forms over many centuries to form these natural caves.
Alright, here we go. Come on, deathmatch me. Come on, duel me. I've seen a lot more Leviathans scary looking than you. Let's do this. Need you on my Pokedex. Whoa. Hey, ow.
Dude, that thing's fast. That night, the head-to-head with the Reaper was proving difficult. I stopped it in place with the stasis rifle, and it took me a few tries, and I managed to scan it in my Pokedex.
And we got it. The Pokedex was almost complete. Wait, is this the same tree as the underground one, or are these like overground avatar trees? Ah! Number 3. How many of these were there? I mean, these two were in like hollowed out trees. Ah, get some! Dude, I love this defense system. Ah, number 4. So again, third time's a charm.
And on day 82, by revisiting the rushed area where Mothy 2 died, the final 5th egg. I found myself nearing the cliffs which were on the edge of the dunes. And I found these giant elephant-like sea treaders, which seemed to dig up minerals as they trod on the surface.
Yo, what? This is like an infinite resource glitch right here. Are they supposed to do this? It's kind of insane. Wait, what the hell did I just pick up? Alien feces. Ah, so I could have used this as organic biomass rather than sacrificing fish. So finally, I think I found all of the cuttlefish. I encountered a very peculiar life pod, which I never actually... Whoa, the cuttlefish actually followed me through? Where did I get the biscuits from anyway? Well,
Inside here, there were a bunch of toys. What is this? Oh. There was only one more creature I needed to scan, and that was the demon Leviathan. However, does he see me? Does he? Oh my god, I'm in his face. Oh my god. Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's get out. Come on, we're gonna do this. Okay. There he is. Whoa! Where'd he go? What the hell was that? There he is. Whoa! So, yeah. I did wait a couple of days, but he never came back. Alas, my journey on this enigmatic ocean world was coming to a close. It was time to have one last look of my base, my sanctuary, to drink the final coffee, to eat the final potato chips and the fruits I grew. One last farewell to the creatures I nurtured and cared for, in not just one, but 2 aquariums. The decorations which I adorned on my walls, the precious items which I gained from the Altera cruise ship, and of course the creatures which I hatched from eggs, which turned into little itty bitty chibi creatures, and of course my old friend, the legendary Mothy 3, the epic SS Omegalol, and the famous Jellyman. I ascended the steps of the Neptune platform. I was raised by the elevator, overlooking the planet. The sun shone brightly on this glorious day as I entered the rocket, and I prepared the ship for takeoff. I mean, can you honestly believe I built this? Well, those 4 AI droids that accompanied me on my journey were the real unsung heroes. They created all of this technology. Without them, I'd be stuck. Then it was time to leave my farewell message inside a time capsule. I placed potato chips and the coffee. These items came in real clutch, and also my trusty scanner, which guided me throughout the entire journey of discovery. And I left a message for it to be found by those who follow in my footsteps. With a final farewell, I powered the rocket and embarked on the journey home.
Life support systems online.
I'm gonna miss this place. On second thought, nah. Let's get out of here. I'm peacing out. Nope. No.
Launch in 10, 9, 8.
Dudes,
7,
get out of here.
6,
You're just gonna go.
5,
You wanna come for a ride?
4,
Alright then.
2,
Let's go.
1.
What the hell, man?
Time capsule jettisoned.
Ascending space. Yo.
Caution. Approaching orbital debris field.
Oh no. We're gonna crash. Oh, that doesn't look good.
Orbital
Okay.
debris field clear.
I think we made it.
Performing gravity turn maneuver.
Wow, the planet. Okay, we're doing a jump, yeah?
Confirm
Okay, you got the
destination
coordinates? Good.
Nearest interstellar phase gate.
Alright. Hit it, Chewie!
Engaging ion boosters in 3, 2, 1.
Woo! Look at this! We're going home. Wait, we die?
What is a wave without the ocean? A beginning without an end. They are different, but they go together.
Wait, she's
Now
alive,
you
yo?
go among the stars,
Or maybe she's just in my head?
and I fall among the sand. We are different, but we go.
Kinda scary, but at least I was going home. She ain't gonna be in Subnautica 2.
Hey, you.
finally awake.